Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. My name is Tran. Today's story we'll be reading is The Life of the Sariputta, compiled and translated from the Pali text by Nayana Panika Thera. Part 2. Maturity of Insight. The Helper. Among the biggest, Sariputta was outstanding as one who helped others. We find a reference to this in the Tavada Sutta. Some visiting monks about to return to their own places took formal leave of the Buddha. He then advised them to see the Venerable Sariputta and take leave of him, also telling them, Sariputta, O biggest, is wise and helper of his fellow monks. The commentary and explanation of these words say, Sariputta was a helper in two ways, by giving material help, or ami sungaha, and the help of the Dhamma, or Dhamma nugaha. The elder, it is said, did not go on alms round in the early morning hours, as the other bhikkhus did. Instead, when they had all gone, he walked around the entire monastery grounds, and wherever he saw an unswept place, he swept it. Wherever refuse had not been removed, he threw it away. Where furniture such as beds, chairs, etc., or earthenware had not been properly arranged, he put them in order. He did that lest other non-Buddhist ascetics visiting the monastery might see some disorderliness and speak in contempt over the bhikkhus. Then he used to go to the hall for the sick, and having spoken consoling words to the patients, he would ask them about their needs. To procure their requirements, he took with him young novices, and went in search of medicine either by way of the customary alms round, or to some appropriate place. When the medicine was obtained, he would give it to the novices, saying, caring for the sick has been praised by the master. Go heedful. After sending them back to the monastery sick room, he would go on the alms round, or take his meal at his supporter's house. This was his habit when staying for some time at the monastery. But when going on a journey on foot with the Blessed One, he did not go with the very first, or the monks shod the sandals and umbrella in hand, as one who thinks, I am the chief disciple, but letting the young novices take his bowl and robes, setting them with the others. He would first attend to those who were old, very young, or unwell, making them apply oil to any sores they might have on their bodies. Then either on the same day or on the next day, he would leave together with them. Once, when for the reason the elder Sariputta had arrived particularly late at the place where the others were resting, he did not get proper quarters for the night, and seated himself under a tent made from ropes. The master saw this, and next day he caused the monks to assemble and told them the story of the elephant, the monkey, and the partridge, who, after deciding which was the eldest of them, lived together, showing respect for the seniormost. He then laid down the rule that lodgings should be allocated according to seniority. In this way, the Venerable Sariputta was a helper by giving material help. Sometimes he would give material help and the help of the Dhamma together, as when he visited Sami Tigutta, who suffered from leprosy. In the infirmary, the Theragatha commentary tells us that he said to Sami Tigutta, "Friend, so long as the aggregates, or khandha, continuous feeling is just suffering. Only when the aggregates are no more is there no more suffering." Having thus given him the contemplation of feelings as subject of meditation, Sariputta went away. Samitigutta, following the elder's instruction, developed insight and realized the 6 supernormal powers, or Chala-vinya, as an arahat. Again, when Anathapindaka was lying on his deathbed, Sariputta visited him, accompanied by Ananda. Sariputta preached to the dying man for non-attachment, and Anathapindika was greatly moved by the profound discourse. Another sickbed sermon given by the elder to Anathapindika is preserved in the Sattapati Sutta, or Vaga 3 Sutta 6. In this discourse, Anathapindika is reminded that those things which lead to rebirth in states of who are no longer in him, but that he possesses the 4 basic qualities of strength and truth, or Sata Patiyanga, and the 8 path factors. In considering this, his pain would subside. As a result, his pains did subside. Once the elder Chana was lying ill and in great pain, the Venerable Sariputta paid him a visit in company with the elder Mahakunda. Seeing the sick monk's agony, Sariputta at once offered to go in search of medicines and suitable food for him. But Chana told them he had decided to take his life, and after they had left, he did so. Afterwards, the Buddha explained that the elder Chana's act was without demerit and blameless, since he had attained arahatship while dying. This story is found in the Chanovada Sutta, or Maj 144. It is said that whenever Sariputta gave advice, he showed infinite patience. He would admonish and instruct up to 100 or 1,000 times, until his pupil was established in the function of stream entry. Only then did he discharge him and give his advice to others. Very great was the number of those who, after receiving his instruction and following it faithfully, attained to arahatship. In the Sakka Babingha Sutta, or Maj 141, the Buddha says Sariputta is like a mother who brings forth, while Moggallana is like a nurse of that which has been brought forth. Sariputta trains to the fruit of stream entry, and Mahamoggallana trains to the highest goal. Explaining this passage, the commentary says, when Sariputta accepted pupils for training, whether they were ordained by him or by others, he favored them with his material and spiritual help, looked after them in sickness, gave them a subject of meditation, and at last, When he knew that they had become string winners and had risen above the dangers of the lower worlds, he dismissed them in confident knowledge that now they can, by their own manly strength, produce the higher stages of saintship. Having thus become free from concern about their future, he instructed new groups of pupils with Mahamoggallana when training pupils in the same way, to not give up concern for them until they had attained Arahatship. This was because he thought, as was said by the master, as even a little excrement is of evil smell. I do not praise even the shortest spell of existence, be it no longer than a snap of the fingers. But although the Mahima commentary said that Sariputta used to lead his regular pupils only up to stream entry, in individual cases he helped monks to attain the higher stages. The Udana commentary, for example, says that at that time bigots in higher training, or Seka, often used to approach the venerable Sariputta for an object of meditation that could help them to attain the three higher paths. It was after taking instruction from Sariputta that the elder Lakuntika Buddha, or the dwarf, attained arahatship. Having been a string winner at the time, there is also the case of the venerable Arunada referred to on page 27. It was in this manner that the venerable Sariputta gave the help of the Dhamma. He was a great leader of men and an outstanding spiritual advisor. To the latter task he brought not only a keen and perceptive understanding of human mind, but also warm human interest in others, which must have been great encouragement to those under his spiritual guidance. We have already seen how ready he was to give generous praise where it was due. He was also keen at all times to meet those whom the master had commended. One such was the elder Puna Mantaniputta. When Sariputta learned that he had come on a visit, he went to meet him without telling him who he was. He listened to Puna's great discourse, the Sage-Coach Simile, or Maj number 24. And when it was ended, gave it high praise, administering to the physical as well as the spiritual needs of the monk, and restraining them with kindly admonitions and encouraging them with the praise their efforts deserve, guiding them on the path, showing in all he did that vital sympathetic interest which draws forth and best from the pupil. Sariputta combined the qualities of a perfect teacher with those of a perfect friend. He was ready to help in every way in small things as in great, filled with the virtue of the holy life himself. He was quick to see virtue in others, expert in developing it in those in whom it was latent, and among the first to extol it where it was in full flower. He was no cold, aloof perfection, but the richest intermining of spiritual exhalation with the qualities that are finest and most enduring in a human being. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha.